So welcome to this seed planning video. So I'm gonna show you some of the varieties that I will be sowing in April, and I'm seated in a room where I have a kind of cold temperature for citrus trees, so that's why I'm wearing a jacket, because otherwise I'm freezing. It's around I think around 6 degrees in this room at the best. But sometimes the temperature in here drops to 0 degrees. So for that purpose, I need to have a jacket in here. But I only storing like cabbage, kale, leek, any kind of cold tolerant kind of plants, as well spinach, tatsoi, Asian types of leaf greens. So yeah. But in this video, I will show you the flowers that I intend on kind of sow in March, April approximately. And I will not sow them in the in this house that I have, because I have kind of mixed type of temperatures in here, and also I don't have space now, I think, for starting all these seeds because I have a lot of kale. And all the kale that I have currently, I will take out to the greenhouse in May, and you know, plant them out in sometime end of May. But until I doing that, I will be a little bit short on space, because I also have tomatoes, bell pepper, chilies, and all these things. So summer flowers I will have to start at another location where there is a consistent heating. So what am I gonna sow for types of flowers for the summer? So I have a few here that I will show you. I will be sowing this variety, and you can see I don't know what this one is called. It's called like Cosmos, this flower, and this is a variety that I have available. So I don't really like red color at all, and I don't like red flowers, but I hope to get some of the other varieties out of here. I also have another one called Candy Stripe Cosmos, so I will be sowing those. Not so interesting package though. I think honestly I would have liked to have some of the she shell Cosmos variety, or maybe some white Cosmos with just a tiny bit of pink in the center. So I don't know if I'm gonna go ahead and buy some other Cosmos, but honestly these seeds goes a long way, so I think I need to use these ones this year basically. Then I also have this one, and there is no English for this flower, but I think as far as I'm concerned, most people know this flower is very popular. So I will be sowing this one. I would have liked to have seeds from the garden to not having to buy these, but I will go ahead and sow this. This is like a mix, so there can be different color types for this flower, and these ones are very good to just have anywhere in the garden. I think you can also eat the leaves of this one and use it as a form of, you know, like skincare and stuff like that. And then I also have this variety over here, and this one I will sow. And this flower I using, it's like marigold. This flower I using to kind of co-plant together with tomatoes. So anytime I have tomato plants in the greenhouse, I like to put one plant of marigold in the same container or like plastic bag where I'm growing the tomatoes, because they seem to kind of coexist together very well, and they seem to be like helping with pests that can otherwise cause problem for tomatoes. I wish I would have had this like seeds of this, and I don't know why I don't have it, because honestly I grew these last year, so I feel like there should have been some seeds left, but I didn't see any that I have collected them from last year. But I think here is enough good amount of seeds. However, as I mentioned with the cosmos flowers, I am kind of tempted to buy some other color of marigold as well, because there is, for example, yellow ones that can be very pretty, and I have other intention as well with the cosmos. So I'm gonna keep these as notes to myself to maybe buy actually. And then I have, let me find here. Where is the, oh, here. I have this colors. I don't know if these are written in English anywhere here. No, they are not. But this is like a very, you know, like normal type of summer flower, and I had never seen anybody in my area have this flower. So one year I saw this package and I was very successful getting very nice colors of this flower, like a very nice color scheme, like different types of colors, and I could kind of cut them and use them as in different ways, an arrangement for flowers indoor. And yeah, but I did not see anybody else in my area grow this, so I don't know why. And I think that a lot of people kind of skip on this flower just because they maybe think that it's too classic or maybe too boring or something. But I honestly think you get a lot of flower for the seeds and you can use them in many ways. So I definitely think this is a flower to grow in the garden. And yeah, and the seeds are good to use until 2026, so it's 2025 now, and I can show you a bit how the seeds look like. You can see I have a lot of seeds in there, and honestly they have very nice colors nowadays for these flowers, so I am kind of tempted to get some other color as well. I, for example, saw one of these varieties that was kind of white, and in the middle or around the corners of the kind of you know, crown leaves, it was like, I don't know if you can see, this kind of color. So it was like white, and then it had this very pink around, and that was very pretty. However, obviously, if you start to buy a lot of seeds, you're gonna buy like kales, you're gonna buy vegetables, you're gonna buy perennials, you're gonna buy summer flowers. It can add up quite quickly, but still they are kind of not so expensive. But I mean, it can still become a bit of a cost. A good way to kind of keep the cost down for seeds is to, for example, exchange seeds with somebody you know that maybe buys a variety that you want, and you can exchange, or for example buy together a pack with somebody else, and you can kind of split on the seeds, because there can be a lot of seeds in here, and often I find that one bag goes a very long way. It can at least be used for like 3 years of planting. So I just want to say that, you know. So I'm definitely gonna sow these, but I have seen more varieties that I'm kind of interested to have in the garden. So I'm gonna put all the seeds, kind of arrange them in such way now when I show you, that I also see which ones I might gonna buy other color schemes for, and also how many containers I going to need, because I don't buy containers. I try to find like containers, you know, like that I can get from the supermarket. If I, for example, buy some fruit and they are in a plastic container, I tend to get those. And I also, I kind of saving any cartons from maybe somebody. I don't drink milk, but if somebody I know drinks milk, I ask them for the containers, and I try to save them so I can use them as pots for these summer flowers that, for example, cosmos, that kind of grows very tall before I will be planting them out. So I try and get accumulated with containers for free. Another thing I will be sowing is this, and this is let me see if I can find in English. No, but it's called in Swedish, it's called pionvalmo. In Latin it's called Papaver somniferum. So this is a like annual, but I think it can also self-spread and be, you know, come back the next year. And this seed package is honestly equal to 6 meters of flowers. I'm not gonna do 6 meters of this. I think I can see that the package of seeds is valid until 2027, so I can probably make some use of this for, you know, like a few years ahead. So I will use a little bit of this, try and see if I can grow them. They look very pretty. So yeah, I'm not gonna buy more of this. I will just use this in the garden. And then I have sweet peas, and this is a variety, as you can see in the photo. Last year I had purchased a special mix of sweet peas. I think they were flowering last year, I think so. And at least I had some sweet peas in a container, and they were flowering late in the autumn, like in September, and they were looking very nicely. So I'm kind of again tempted to get another color scheme of sweet peas, to maybe use some of them this year and maybe have for next year, because I don't think I will use the entire package this year for this variety. I'm gonna use half, because this one is valid to use until 2027, as it say on the back side here. So I think I will do like half the package, and then I would like to have another type of variety, maybe with some speckles or something, or maybe with like a ballerina kind of color scheme, you know. So this is also one that I might want to buy another color scheme as well for. And then I have this one I show you already. Another thing I have, by the way, I can say from these flowers this year, I will try and take my own seeds from, so I do not have to buy these particularly next year. Another thing I will be sowing is this, and these are, I don't know what they are called in English, but you can see what they look like. They are annuals. These are very easy to take seeds from, and I think I took seeds last year from these because I had like massive bush of this growing in a box in the garden, but I don't know where I put the seeds. I need to look through and see if I can find them, or if I throw them away because maybe they were getting some mold or something. It's very important if you drying your own seeds from the garden to keep them very dry, like airflow type of area, because sometimes it's easy to maybe cover them with some plastic and they get like mold and then you have to throw them away. So keep them airflow, you know. But yeah, I will be growing these. I don't know how many are in this one. This is also a flower that I kind of looked for other type of variety. They have some very nice ones that are in this very light yellow, and then they have some in a kind of rose kind of tone. So I'm interested to probably buy some other variety of this as well. And I still have time. It's only end of January, so any of these annual flowers that I'm going through now and plan to sow in like end of March, April, I will most likely be buying some other varieties of colors for. And then my kind of plan to keep it budget still is to use half the package, so not the full package, but like use the half. This one I will use the full package because I want to take my own seeds of this and use next year. But I'm gonna try and see if I find those seeds that I had, because I know I had some from last year, because it was a lot. It added up to a lot because I was collecting them. So I will see if I have them still. But I think I will buy another variety of this and use half of that package and then have for next year as well. Because some of the seeds that kind of tend to be more variegated or more like interesting in the color schemes, they tend to be more expensive in my, like in Sweden basically, to buy. So a good tip, if you want to have nice colors, and you also, if unless you're gonna share and split buying seed bags with somebody else, you can also like buy this year and then you kind of make only half of that seed bag this year planted, and then you use the next year, but then you will have the same colors next year as well. So, but I was just thinking, so you don't have to buy new seeds of the same variety next year, plus try and take your own seeds from the stuff you're growing. Something else I will be planting more of, because I really like this flower. It's such an easy, good, long, like flowering season for this flower. It's pansies, and these are more for me like June, July type of color schemes in my head. So I will be growing these. I have some other varieties as well that I have to see if I can find, but I will be sowing these in, I think in Mars. And these are also colors that I wanna, especially this Laura pansy color scheme, I would definitely like to have more of this color. I also like to have white pansies for some reason, because they kind of look very fresh in the garden. But as I'm looking through this, I start to think that I will probably be buying some more like annual flower seed bags. I honestly placed an order on some perennials, such as, I don't know what they are called. I will make a seed haul for that once I get those seeds. But this year, what I kind of want to focus more towards is perennials, to grow perennial flowers for the garden. So yeah, that's kind of something that I'm doing. But I definitely also need to kind of estimate if I need to buy any extra vegetable seeds, you know. But I think I have a lot and they can last until next year as well. But kind of, you know, the perennials is my kind of target. But I think now I have purchased enough perennials. But I'm also tempted to get some of these annuals, like some other color schemes. And as I said, if I get one bag, I will use half of it this year and half of it next year, and potentially divide one bag into three. But I think, for example, sweet peas, one bag of sweet peas, that is like enough to fill one container. So you get like one container. But yeah, I will be most likely buying some more annual seeds for flowers. This one I cannot show you what it looks like because the package is such, but I will show you the name. And this one is something I purchased this year as well. And I just want to say, by the way, a lot of the seeds I show you, they are purchased other years, but they are still good to use this year. So I have not purchased so many annual flower seeds this year. I have purchased mostly like perennials and some vegetables. But this is, it's called Sabrina Malva Sylvestris. And this is an annual. It has like a kind of variegated two-tone color, white and striped types of purple on its flower leaves. And yeah, I will be growing this one in the summer. Another one, it's also a Malva sylvestris, Malva trimestris it's called. So this one is also a summer kind of flower, and I very like this flower. I grew and had success with this one year, and it was just stunning. I very much like this one. Um, this one can be sown in April to May. Now this seed bag is kind of old. It's from 2023, so I will sow most likely all these flowers this year that are in this bag. I don't know if there's a lot in here. However, I must say that, you know, in the previous years that I had with the garden, it has been such that I start seeds like in February, and I started some cherry tomatoes and chili in December last year, but I've been starting most seeds in like February, and then I've been sowing different varieties like squash, cucumbers and stuff until approximately beginning of April, and then it has sort of gotten to the point where I don't have the time to sow annual flowers, and I don't have space, or I don't have time for it basically. So this year I'm going to try and, you know, take like a few hours of time to sow these annual flowers at another location, so that I actually will have some annual flowers, because I didn't have many of these last year. And that was also because I was traveling last year, and sometimes that is what you're doing. But you can kind of, you know, work around it a bit, because this year I figure I'm going to make use of help from somebody else to maintain these annuals. So yeah, I will grow these and see how they go. I have ordered, as I was talking about perennials, I have ordered perennial Malva that are pink, and I will show the packages once I get those as well. But that's something I will be growing as a perennial flower. I already have sown some dahlia. This is a decorative giants, and they are come in different colors, dahlias. I think these mix is not super nice, I would say, in my opinion, of dahlias. They are more like basic types of dahlias, like single leaves, yellow, orange and such. And I have also over the years purchased some dahlia like roots that are more interesting in the colors, like variegated white and pink and stuff like that, or apricot is one of my kind of go-to colors when it concerns flowers. So I have purchased some, and I storing all these roots for dahlias in the basement in sand over the winter. I made a small mistake this year, however, because I by accident put water in the sand where I keep the dahlias. But I think that they are fine. But what can happen if you do that? You shouldn't water them in the winter time when they are stored, because they can start to rot. So, but I think they were fine because I have kind of good airflow in the basement still. But yeah, I have a whole bag, IKEA bag of dahlias. So, and every year you can kind of break the roots and get more, you know, dahlias. So, but I saw some of these, and these are good as a gift, I would say, like to give away. Sow dahlias and you can give them away, because that's like a good plant to give away, because you can keep it for years. So I don't know if I'm gonna sow more of this. I might do that because I have those seeds. I also have this, which I never grew, and I don't know much about this flower. It looks like this. You can see the color scheme here. This is also like an annual. It doesn't grow so tall. It's kind of a short flower, and yeah, I don't know so much about this one. Matiola incana in Latin. I just gonna sow this and see if it does anything in my area. It kind of grows here. It looked nice, basically. I don't know much else about it. I also have some other flower that is called Lupinus mexicanus, and these seeds are from 2023, like outdated, so I will see if they're doing well here. I think they will still grow here. And I think these are kind of called soap flour, that you can, if you're using the flour, you can sort of use it as a soap or laundry detergent or what it's called. So I think these flowers are pink, and I will try and sow these ones this year, and then I will what is it called, try and take seeds from them so I can sow them other years ahead, you know. So that's something, and those are supposed to be sown from April until June. So pretty much a lot of time ahead here to do that. I also have zinnia that looks like this, like a very pink zinnia. And I must say I have never really sown zinnias with, I think I tried to sow these. I was not successful sowing these ones last year, but I think it was because I didn't have the time really to care for all the plants, you know. Like I didn't have a pressure sprayer. I was using this other type of sprayer to kind of maintain the moist level of all these sowings and plants. So I think yeah, but these kind of reminds of dahlias. They are annual, and I will definitely sow these in this year and hope for the best. Another thing that I have sown in this year already, because they have to be started kind of early, these seeds that I show you, they are something I will start end of March. I will probably not wait until April, but some of them I might wait until April. But I noticed that anytime I start these seeds for annual flowers in April, they tend to grow kind of slow, and then they start to flower towards the end of July. And I feel like I would have liked to have, for example, sweet peas and some other ones of these flowers to actually be flowering end of June. So I think for that purpose I will start most of those annual flower seeds in March, because I'm already on the way and good with all these kales and stuff like that, and tomatoes and bell peppers. So that's why I think I will have the time to kind of repot annuals later, you know, if I need to. And yeah, for example, I also have I think these are the pink pansies that I show you. So I have another package here, and I have also, oh, here I have, this might be something I will sow. I think this is a marigold, yellow marigold. So I don't need to buy this one, I have one. I will add it into the pile here. And what else here? Oh, here is the one that I was talking about. You know, I didn't even have checked through entire here, you know. I have some Cosmos she shell mix that I have. So this is the one I was talking about. I don't need to buy it. Just gonna add it into the pile here to sow. Often when you, for example, buying seeds from some seed companies, they might give you some free seeds. So I have also more of this Calendula Pacific Beauty Mix. So this one I might sow as well, because I don't know for how long it's gonna last. I have another one of those as well. So might use those as well. And what else do I have here? Yeah, I have some Pansies Rococo mix, but this one I have sown in one of the containers that I have here. I also have these. ones here. Now, I don't really care so much for this flower, to be honest, but I think I will make the most and use this whole package, but I think I'm gonna give this away to somebody else who kind of care for the blue and white types of flowers, because I'm not a fan of blue. So I think I might give this away, to be honest. So I will put it also there. Chamomile I have already sown, and these types of flowers that you can have indoor in pots, I have quite a few of them that I've sown from seeds, so I'm not at this point considering, I might should use up the seeds, to be honest, because they will otherwise expire, so I might gonna use up the seeds, but I don't need so many of these, but I might just go ahead and sow them so I use up the seeds. And then cicoria, I have sown cicoria. I hope they will do well, and I have cicoria out in the garden. If they don't start, the cicoria I have sown here, I will add some more. So this is might something else I will, you know, sow. This is a perennial. This one I have sown, so I will not sow that. I also, this is something I sow already, and I think I will sow more of this. I don't know what it's called, but you can see what the colors are. Flowers look like. This one is full, this bag, and I have sown and had these flowers for the past few years in the garden. They have very nice color schemes as well, you can check for. So I actually will sow more of this, because the ones I started now in January, I was thinking I will have in a container together with spinach or pansies in May, because these are they kind of can stand a little bit of cold, but I probably will not keep the container out if it's not like 3+ degrees. But I have sown some of these, and I think they will flower maybe in May, June, and then I will start some more of these in, like, let's say end of March, and have them for July and August in some other garden space. So I'm just looking here, like, it's gonna be a lot, you know, it's gonna be a lot. Another perennial that I sown was the Aclea, and here is another pelargonium. I will use up those seeds. And let me find out here. Echinacea I have sown. I hope they will do well, so I'm not gonna use those. I have some Roman chamomile. I think I will use these ones this year, and they are supposed to be sown in April. So that is another variety here. I already sown this. I was thinking of using it as a house plant. It's called Cabea scandens, and those can like climb type of flowers. Lavendel I already have sown, so I hope that they are growing, and I have purchased some online, some small plugs, so I will not be sowing more of that. This is something I already sown, because these are supposed to be in the soil from February to April. So it's a petunia strawberry shake mix that I have sown. And I also have some pom-pom dahlia mix that I have sown. I don't think I will sow more of those, but we will see. And just for the purpose of showing you what does the dahlia mix look like, you can see here. I might will use more of the dahlias. I have another mix that I show you, but just to make use of it. And here is the tatsoi for some reason. This flower I have sown, but I don't really care so much for sowing this flower. It's an annual, however. Another flower I have sown already is hollyhock. So So they say that if you start hollyhocks very early in the year, you could potentially get flowers in the same year. We will see. I also have the hollyhocks in a champagne color. And then I have some, oh, is it? Yeah, this is the this is the last. So I also have this, now let's see, what is it called in English? I don't know. Doesn't say here. Nasturtium. I think it's called nasturtium. So I had one bag of these. I might going to, this is kind of the color I would have liked to have of this. So I think I honestly gonna save this bag because this one is until 2026, and maybe get some other color scheme of this for this year. And I also have another one here of the Malva, so I could, if those seeds doesn't grow, I have some here. Yeah, so that is all varieties I have to start seeds off. In terms how many containers of this, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take, I will have like a carton like this one and fill up, as you can see here, with all these small tray for the annual flowers basically. So I'm not expecting to have more than like 2 of these, and then maybe end of May, if I need to repot them, I will probably end up with 4 or 5 containers, but that will be for approximately 2 to 3 weeks. So yeah, so a few more maybe annual different colors that I will use half the package of this year and then half in the next. But otherwise, I think I'm good set up with annuals.